Chuck 327 and welcome to the shop. We have a brand new project. This mower straight off of Facebook Marketplace, and the previous owner had already started doing some modifications. We're going to try to improve on what they were doing. Cut, and before we go any further, let's do it before and after. That was before, this is the after. This is how it turned out. It's a 2-day build. I am very impressed. Anyway, back to the video. Wait, you want to hear it run? Hang on a second. And if we grab the hood, on the side of the hood, you'll notice it says LT1000. You know, we've already got Colonel Cressman, we've already got Major Dan Murray. I'm thinking Lieutenant something. I'm going to need one of you to pick the name for this mower. Lieutenant, let's put your name on it. If you want to go to Patreon, we'll start the bidding at $1 a month. Whoever's doing the most by episode number 2. Anyway, on this mower, the previous owner, let's zoom in on some of the things they did to it. And so what caught my attention most on the Marketplace ad, he said this carburetor is brand new, right off of eBay, $28. I've been wanting to try one of these anyway. They did have to modify it a little bit to make it work, but that's fine. I don't mind that part. The part I want to change, this, flip it around, get the carburetor back into a stock position. That way we can get a hood on. I don't like the looks of a mower without a hood. Anyway, that'll help keep the mud off. We might even make some kind of shield to keep the mud from splashing onto the air filter. And we also have to make a gas pedal for the throttle. And the thing actually runs good already. I did steal the battery out the other day. Major Dan, when he wanted to go to the river, he had to borrow the battery. But we'll put it back in. I'll show you how it runs here real soon. Let's go into some more of the modifications. And then the one that I'm not terribly excited about, they cut this trying to lower the front end. So I guess you cut that off and it lowers it about 1 inch. But when you're turning it, there's something that hits and it gets a little bit catched here, a little catches there. I don't want something fast that's going to be getting catches in it. I don't need any kind of sketchy steering. So we're going to change all the front end out. Another thing I want to change, they painted the wheels, I guess, to match the mower. I'm not really excited about the paint job on the wheels. These back tires are only 18 inches tall. That's going to limit your speed. If we put on the Dirt Devils 22 inches tall, that'll get us a little bit of speed. So the bad news, without a battery, you can't hear it just yet, but that's coming soon. The good news is it helps us to inspect the pulley. I just replaced the belt right after I bought it so I could test drive it. I think it's a 87-inch belt. Anyway, the pulley says 400 by 5/8, so that's a 4-inch pulley. When we first swapped the original Poland, it's got a 3.5 inch, so it's going to be a little bit faster than this one, but this one, the belt will slip a little less in the mud. And here's the throttle cable. For now, you just sit here and pull this. Let's start working on, well, why don't we go ahead and put the battery in it so you can hear it, and we'll start working on getting this front end swapped out, getting these tires changed, and then we got to make a gas pedal. Oh, wait a minute, the carburetor. I might do the carburetor first. Battery, then carburetor. Good news, the battery that came with the mower is now back in the mower, and it's a pretty good battery too. Let's do a quick cold start. I'll put you on the tripod. And side note, my V8 S10 project, I pushed it out of the garage to work on this mower for you. That video is coming soon. Alright, this is 100% a cold start. It's not ran in a couple weeks. And let's see how it goes. There's a choke, but I'm not even going to put it on. And I forgot to mention, I'm thinking of some kind of exhaust system on this. I mean, it's nice to have it quiet, but I like that sound too. I gotta get this baby turned around. These two bolts, everything flips. This spins around to here. The PCV, that's not big enough to drill a hole. If it'll reach, we could drill a hole here and run it through there. We'll see on that. Anyway, let's get started on it. This shows how they modified it. They cut this edge off, and now the bolts just go in those grooves. This also makes the choke easier to get to. The carburetor has now been flipped. Let's see if it'll run backwards. So it does run with the carburetor on backwards. Now let's put the hood on. This will be the first time I've seen it with the hood on. Get rid of that junk so it sits down flat. That looks a lot better. Here, let me change your angle. Maybe take a couple pictures. So this mower is not in perfect shape, but it is close. The body is really nice. There is one little dent here, character mark, and the seat has a little bit of a rip here. Other than that, she's in really good shape. Oh, and on the wheels, I've got the option of John Deere Yellow. I've got the red ones off of Silver Bullet. I'm thinking about getting the ones off Silver Bullet now, the silver ones, and put them on this. Because red and green, that would be Christmas. Yellow and green would be John Deere. Silver and green would be sick. Okay, I've made a wheel decision. I was thinking about putting on these red or the yellow Dirt Devils, but now I'm thinking put these back on Silver Bullet. It's got red wheelie bar wheels. These will match. We'll put the red ones back on the front. I took these paddle tires off of Silver Bullet. I love, love, love the way they look, but I hate the way they ride. My back hates the way they ride. They're really good in sand, but it's hard to get into the sand. So we'll take these off. These will probably go up for sale. And to replace these, GoPowersports.com, I've got these. They're just like the Dirt Devils, but they're not name brand. Same tread, same size, 22-inch tall, but these are 10 by 10. So I can use these aluminum wheels with these tires on Lieutenant, whatever you name it. And these go on Silver Bullet. So on Silver Bullet, we still got to rub that. We got to rub this other front. If we had some more Troy belt back wheels, that would go in front of something. And this one has just been replaced. Now it matches the wheelie bars. Making progress. Put plenty of juice on there. And try not to scratch them too bad. There's so much slickum on these wheels. When I got to do a wheelie, the wheel's going to slip inside the tire. And the good news about these wheels, the hole's so big in the center, I can use my tire changer. That makes it so much easier. It's almost too easy. Almost too easy. And now we'll repeat on that tire and wheel. We'll be ready to roll. So the biggest change of all is about to happen. I've got these homemade hubs. I'll leave a card right here showing how I built these. Anyway, these small junky 18-inch tires are ready to replace with these brand new 22-inch tall with aluminum wheels. That's going to be more speed and quicker takeoff with lighter weight. So this is a little bit of before and after. If you look right here, it just barely clears, but it does clear because they have lowered the back down about an inch. Let me get this other tire off and I'll show you what I'm talking about. In this shot we see how the PO, the previous owner, cut and raised the axle, which lowers the mower. We have to do a fender lift just to make this side work. Anyway, here's the hub in place. Now let me get the wheel on. So the back tires are now on and they're literally almost twice as tall. Does that mean we're going to go almost twice as fast? Let's get rid of that junk. And I'm also in the middle, if you look here, the springs are gone. I've got a board in there. We're in the middle of building a lift kit because this tire was actually rubbing on the fender. I like that look a lot better. If we go around to the other side, I like that look a lot better. I'm also putting together some metal, trying to get my wheelie bars put together. So let's do lift kit, wheelie bars, front suspension. I don't know if I'm going to get the gas pedal today. We'll try. So on the rear lift kit, I've got this piece of signpost. I cut it off about 9 inches. It's 1 3/4, so it's going to lift the fenders up 1 3/4. I marked these holes and drilled them, marked those holes and drilled them. The original bolts go in these. Up here I'll just find 2 bolts, 2 nuts, find some washers, and this holds the fenders down and the springs in place for the seat. All we got to do is get it in place. Quick update on Lieutenant Craftsman, whatever his name is. If we look underneath the fenders, the lift kit is in place. I got bolts in the bottom, bolts in the top. They're all tight. We can now move to the front and try to get the front suspension changed out before our test drive. Oh, and wheelie bars. I want to get those on tonight. We'll see. So what just happened, the front end fell out, the muffler fell off, and I'm going to put this one back in. I got to put this little bushing in. That's the only change from the old to this newer one. We'll get this thing back together. So I've got the front end all in, the front tires are on, it's looking sick. Now I'm working on the exhaust, the muffler's still off, and I've just got a piece of stripe pipe on there. Just kind of curious what it would sound like with that muffler, with that chrome tip. Let's try it out. I don't know. Chrome tip sounds good. Fire extinguisher sounds good. So I worked late last night on the mower, and now I'm getting a late start today. It's already 2 o'clock. I had to run to town and get some parts for a zero turn and some parts for a different zero turn. And for my truck, I picked up an aluminum drive shaft, and I had to get this input shaft. That's actually out of a Ford. So I got to take all of this, make one drive shaft, put it in this truck, then take one of them back. Anyway, that ate up part of my day. We've got to get back to this mower. Next step, we're going to be welding the exhaust together. So I now have the exhaust pipe welded together. It's good and tight. I got 2 holes to patch there, and I don't have the muffler on yet. Let's see what it sounds like this. Then we'll put the muffler on and see what it sounds like that. And this is cold start, not started since yesterday. Gas is still on. Maybe I should choke it. Spark plug wires off. No wonder it wouldn't start. Let's try again. So I just lifted the mower with the cherry picker. This will be good for determining how high to make the wheelie bars. But the real reason, if we look underneath here, when you're doing the exhaust, it's tight quarters when you've got big tires on the front. And right now my exhaust is dumping right into this pulley. This pulley I'll never use, so I'm going to take the grinder and just cut it off. Then I can run my muffler straight crisscross, make a mount back here, do a little welding while it's up in the air. There's the new belt I put on, 87 inches. And if we ever wanted to do a front pulley swap, there's not a whole lot of room. This distance right here, you go maybe an inch bigger on your pulley. That's not going to give you a whole lot of speed. So whatever speed we get out of this combination is probably what it's going to be. So that is what the exhaust system looks like underneath. I'm going to go ahead and lower it down and we'll see what it sounds like. It is now time to fire it up, see what it sounds like, and go for a test drive, maybe even a speed run. Let's see how it sounds. So I'm right here with the Lieutenant. Today's goal is wheelie bars. This is actually day 3, but technically it should be day 2 because day 1 started at noon, day 2 started at 2. Anyway, today's goal is to get the wheelie bars done. I was thinking about using these front tires that came off of the Lieutenant, but they'd have to be painted. They're kind of bulky. Those skinny ones are already silver enough for me. I've got a piece of all thread. I've got nuts to go on it. I've got bed frame. Those are probably the right length. The long one I'll probably cut in half. We'll need to drill 8 holes, find some nuts, some washers, some bushings, a little piece of pipe. This should be a piece of cake. Okay, in the planning phase for the wheelie bars, when I made these for fast mowers, I want to be higher than silver bullets, and they turn about exactly the same height. So I've got the jack stands all the way up. I thought that was good enough. I packed this in here. It's about the same height. I'm going to make them even higher, and the reason I want them higher, when I went through the ditch with this, these got caught on the bank. I got stuck. I don't want to get stuck. If I'm at the river going up some sand dunes, I don't want these getting caught in the sand. So I'm going to make them even higher. Plus, that'll make more extreme wheelies when you pop them. So, going to go higher, and love those, but going to go higher. So I just added 3.5 inches of lift. If we check here, that one's about 12 inches high. This one is about 16 high. I could live with that. So what I'm thinking, there's already a bolt and a hole here. If I drill this hole out, put it there, it will not interfere with the shifter. Which, by the way, speaking of the shifter, ever since the lift kit, I've gotten a reverse. So this needs to be adjusted anyway while we're in here. So using this hole here, and then downstairs, maybe one of these holes, if there's one on the other side just like it, maybe that hole. I don't know on the bottom one yet. Let me go look at the other side and we'll decide on that. So I just cut the long piece of bed frame. It was 60, now it's 30 and 30. These two pieces are right at 25 and 25. The all thread is about 36 inches long, which is too long. I'll be cutting that off. You know, just in case you want to build your own. Step by steps. So where we are now on the wheelie bars, I've got a hole drilled there. There's a bolt in that. I got a magnet holder right where I want it. And then I got this vice grips. The vice grips holding it together. I'm going to trace out the shape of this one on the back of this one. And there's already a hole back there. I got to trace where that hole goes. And then down here where it bolts on, PO, previous owner had this little bolt in there. We're going to replace it with this grade 8 bolt right through there. Then we'll repeat on the other side, run the all thread. This is almost done. So the theme when I built fast mowers was how cheap can you build it? The whole mower was $27 in episode number 1. This one I'm spending a little bit of money on. I bought it off a marketplace and I just came back from the hardware store. I bought this all thread, the 2 stainless washers, the 2 lock nuts. The theme for this mower is how fast can you build one? Technically we're still on day 2. This is the wheelie bar kit. Turn it over and paint the other side now. Meanwhile, I'm also working on the gas pedal. This is going to be the bracket that bolts down to the floorboard. I'm going to bend this up and we're going to make some kind of pedal to go on it. Pretty good so far. Let me go bend it. Okay, quick update. I'm falling a little bit behind. I had to run in town and get these springs before the store closed at 6. Then we had to go to the grocery store. Then we had to make supper. Then we ate the tacos. Then I had to hook the boat up. Then I had to charge the battery. Anyway, I'm back on this and I think we can still do it. This is my gas pedal update. This is a bracket, a shifter off of a mower, part of a bed frame. I've already shown you this. It's going to bolt to the floorboard. And the good news is the carburetor already has a cable on it. And the wheelie bars, all we got to do is bolt together, cut a couple of pieces of pipe. It's still doable. Gas pedal time. Watch your eyes. The wheelie bar frame is bolted in place, and then I came under and I was working on the shifter adjustment. You loosen these, you wiggle the handle, and I had some brace in the way, so I just took the grinder and cut out a little notch. It now clears. Okay, good news, the gas pedal is finished. I'm waiting for the paint to dry. Once the paint is dry, we're going to mount it on this floorboard right here, hook the cable to it. In the back, more good news, the wheelie bar is 100% finished, completely done, all tight, all done, everything's level. While we're waiting on that pedal to dry, I'm going to get the tires and wheels put on, get the jack and jack stand out from underneath it, and then when the sun comes up, it'll be time for a test drive, see how the wheelies go. Okay, this just in, the gas pedal is finished, it's bolted on, the cable is hooked up. Let's see if it works. did not use the springs. I'll probably go back and add them just so it goes back faster. But for tonight, we're going to call it done. The 2-day mower build. Here's a shot of Fast Mowers and the Lieutenant, who does not have a name yet. Anyway, if we look at the pedals, I think I learned a lot from this pedal, and I transferred that over to this new pedal. It's the same design, different materials, a cable that comes with the carburetor. I may have to invest in more of those. And for the wheelie bars, the goal was to have these higher. Yeah, they're definitely higher. And that basket should fit right in there in case we want to go pick up trash with the Lieutenant. I guess up next I need to get Silver Bullet in here. I need to wash all 3 of them. That should be next on my list. Test drive, wheelies, and wash it. So it's Saturday morning and I canceled the boating event. I figure you guys like mud mowers better. Anyway, update, there's the reflectors from last night. In the back they look kind of like Mach 1 Mustang taillights. That looks pretty good. And there's even some on the both sides of the wheelie bars. Up next, finishing touches. I've got this spring. I'm going to add it to the gas pedal. I took this fender washer and I turned it into a spring washer. It goes right there on that bolt. And then I've also broke out some detailing stuff. I've got some aluminum polish for those wheels, some rubbing compound for the paint. I'll start on the hood. And then I got some Turtle Wax Emerald series. It's between waxings. It's probably been a while since this one's been waxed. Anyway, there's a car show tonight. That might finish out this whole video. Pop some wheelies, do some riding, and then a car show. And I forgot to mention I have some, these are from that Volvo guy, some Instagram stickers, and that yellow, it's supposed to be for a John Deere, but it matches this one pretty good. I think I'm going to put one of these on one side, and maybe one of these white YouTube Chud 327 stickers. I don't know if I want to put it on the back or on the other, probably on the hood on the other side, or maybe one on both. I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know. Oh, and if you want to let me know, I'm still debating on a front bumper. I kind of like it without. Leave me a comment, yes or no on front bumper. So the hood is looking great. I'll probably buy the wife some more paper towels. Anyway, I look at the headlights and they look like crud. I'm gonna try to take that apart and clean them up. And I guess we'll just wash the back half. He's almost ready for the show. So the spring is now hooked up. I got an extra spring for next time. Win-win. Alright. You're still spin? Perfect. here in the shop with Major Dan Murray, and just in case he's feeling a little jealous, a little left out, this are to make him feel better. These are 26 by 12 by 12 Super Swamper Vampires. That video coming soon.
Wheelie, you got a wheelie. We got one and I got No, you're good. I was laughing at you.
So when I started building mowers with wheelie bars, this is the first one I did. This is number 1, Silver Bullet. The second one I did, this is Fast Mowers. And then the third one, that is Lieutenant whatever you name it. If we look at the height of them, low, a little bit higher, and that's the highest. I don't think I want to go any higher than that. That's kind of spooky when you get it all the way touching the ground. Anyway, that's all 3 of those. And the military names, Lieutenant, and then down here, that would be Major, and that is Colonel. So these are my 3 militarily named mowers. This is Colonel Craftsman, this is Major Dan Murray, and this is Lieutenant whatever you name it. And that's Patreon, starting at $1, it might be $2. For Dan to get his name on Major, it was $10 a month. It might be $1, it might be 50 cents. I don't know what it's going to be on Lieutenant, but here's what I'm going to do. Whatever name we pick, whether it's Lieutenant Scott, Lieutenant John, Lieutenant Bill, Lieutenant Timmy, I'm going to get it tattooed right here where the farmer's stand starts, right up here. Lieutenant and whatever name on my arm, tattooed. Promise. Try me. That'll be in episode 2. Me getting a tattoo with Lieutenant whatever name we pick for it. Whatever name you pick for it. I need you to let me know which mower you like best. You can vote for Colonel Craftsman. You can vote for Major Dan Murray. Lieutenant whatever we name it. Fast Mowers. Silver Bullet. And not pictured would be Moto Mo. There's John Deere. There's Troy number 5. I think that might be all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Am I forgetting one? Anyway, if there's one I forgot, just leave it in the comments, the one you like best. And thanks for watching.